Hey, welcome, Keto Rockstars, to this edition of Thursday Motivation, except for one difference. This isn't live. We're not live right now. And why is that? Well, the reason why we're not live is because I have a hearing appointment today, so I cannot take a lunch from work. So I've previously recorded this, but I wanted to give you guys an awesome place to hang out, chat with each other, provide you with some midday motivation while I walk on the treadmill, and we could just sit here and chat. Thought this was a great idea. So I told you last Thursday, about a week ago from when you're watching this, the reason why I stopped working out was because I was having some knee pain, right? I still have a little bit of knee pain, but it's not bad, so I'm kind of taking an easy pace, but I just don't want to lose momentum, right? I want to keep things going. So if you're tuning into this, this is previously recorded. I'm going to have it as a premiere. You're watching the premiere so that you all can chat and talk amongst yourselves and have a good time and get some motivation to get moving. I think it's important, even when you do have joint pain or you go through bouts of joint pain like I do, that you do, give yourself time to recover. But once you hit that recovery phase, it's also good to, keep going a little bit, get back into the groove. Don't overdo it though, because you can put yourself right back to where you are. So if this at any point starts hurting, I'm going to stop, right? So the interesting thing about my knee pain is it's very possible. I think it's oxalate dumping. I also think it's a reaction from these allergy drops that I am titrating up on. But it also looks like I have these two big red circles, about 2 to 3 inches in diameter on the inside of my knee. It's very possible I got bit by a spider and the knee pain was caused by that. I don't know. Who knows, right? But I'm not going to spend a lot of time dwelling on it, because when I first went carnivore, I had terrible knee pain too. And I think that was oxalate dumping. And then that resolved, and then now the knee pain. I'm actually having pain in my elbow, my arm, my wrist, my hand, and then my right knee. It's all on the right side. I don't know if that means anything or not, but it is getting better. So the reason why I'm doing a premiere today is because later today, when you're watching this, later today, which is the future, I am going to get a hearing test, which I will fail. Talk a little bit about that. When I went and got, when I had my trigeminal neuralgia and I had my brain surgery, I had a hearing test, and I thought I was told it was normal. Then 10 years later, I really noticed I was, like, my left ear was always plugged, which I think I had a eustachian tube problem that was causing that. But during that visit, they found that I had significant hearing loss in both ears, mostly high-pitched hearing loss. And then when I got a new doctor, he did a preliminary hearing test. And, this was in the last 6 months. And he's like, your hearing's bad. I'm like, I know. I found out 10 years ago my hearing was bad. So he wanted me to go to an audiologist. So I'm going to an audiologist to get my hearing rechecked, which I know I'm going to fail miserably. But I'm not ready to buy hearing aids yet because they're expensive, right? They're very expensive. And sometimes on the TV, I notice I have to turn on the closed captioning, and I'm fine with that. And here's the other thing. I learned to watch people's lips 10, 15 years ago. I started reading people's lips. Now, when I read their lips and I hear the sounds that they make, I put 2 and 2 together, what people are saying. The interesting thing about all that is there was a period of about a year or two that I really struggled. That was during COVID, because everybody was wearing masks and I could no longer look at people's lips to see what they were saying, to figure out what, and so I really missed a lot of conversations in 2020, 2021. because of all the mask wearing. So I'm really glad that's over with. Eventually I will have to get hearing aids, but I don't think it's going to be this year, right? They're very expensive and I want to get a good brand. I am a singer, a musician. So whatever brand I get, I want to get settings for music and all kinds of things. So there's that. So the other interesting thing is I go back to the doctor, I want to say, I think it's Wednesday. So it would have been yesterday. I'm filming this before all these appointments, but by the time you view this, all of these things will have happened. So I go back to the doctor to review. I'm sure he wants to review my CAC score, my cholesterol numbers, and luckily my husband and I are going into the appointment together because we scheduled 2 appointments, one for him, one for me, so we'll just go in together and be back to back. Now my husband and I just watched the cholesterol code together, right? So my husband's totally on board. So my suggestion to the doctor would be my calcium is, in my opinion, minimal for a 50-year-old woman. And let's just monitor it. I don't want to do any therapy at this point. Let's just monitor it. And the other thing that that keeps coming back in my mind, I've been ketogenic going on 9 years now, right? Almost a decade. I have been keto and carnivore. And if keto and carnivore is so bad for you, after 10 years, after a decade of doing this, why aren't my arteries totally clogged, right? Why am I not going in for a triple bypass tomorrow? So that's the question that keeps coming back in my mind about, I've been doing this almost 10 years. I've been doing this longer than a lot of people, right? A lot of people in this community have only been doing it 2, 3, 4 years. Now, I haven't been carnivore that whole time, but I've been ketovore for a very, very long time. So if you take a look at Bart K's standards, 70 or 80%, I've probably really been carnivore for a long time, right? There were just some things that I was eating that aren't carnivore foods. So I put together a packet, and I'm probably going to make a short on this. I got him the cholesterol myth book. I printed out a picture of the cholesterol code moving, and watch this. I've got a little synopsis about all of my data, my blood work, my CAC score run through AI, and compared the lipid model, lipid energy model, and the lean mass hyperresponder. I'm heavier than I've been in a while, but I still feel like I'm somewhat thinnish. I'm only about 20 pounds overweight from what the doctor says and what I would like to be, but that's just a number. I really, I'm feeling so much better in general that really doesn't matter. And so I also want to show him a picture of what I looked like. Oh, I got to print that out. I'm going to print out a picture of what I looked like when I was fat. And I'm going to stick that in the paperwork too. So if he gives me hell, gives me a hard time, I'm going to hand him this book with all of these, studies, movies, books, my fat picture, everything in it. And just say, look, what I would like to do is just keep an eye on this. If he wants me to go back for another CAC scan in a year or two, I'm more than happy to do that. But right now, I don't think I'm in any risk of heart disease. Right? So that's kind of what's happening this week. Another exciting thing, so it's Friday. It's almost 6 days before this video is airing, but I got to record a little bit at a time and put this all together. So we have a fun place to chat on Thursday. So tomorrow, my loved one who had, not my husband, but the other person in my family who's had a health issue, I'm helping them with their diet, and I'm going to make a healthified chicken crust pizza. It's more ketovore, so I'll probably make one for my husband and I. It's not strict carnivore, but the crust is made out of chicken crust. Last weekend, my grandbabies came to spend the night. Oh, this is interesting. My youngest granddaughter, who is 6, has just been diagnosed. Well, she's been going to an allergist, and she cannot have wheat. She cannot have eggs, and I'm assuming because of the egg whites, right? She has to minimize her dairy. So I did use cheese last weekend, but just a little bit and just some mozzarella. But it's interesting that these younger and younger children are having weight issues and metabolic issues, right? And so she has eczema. I saw her body. I had to help her put eczema cream on. She has eczema all over her body. I was just mortified that a 6-year-old is having such severe problems. So I spoke with both the mom and the dad, and I'm like, look, she's in the right place staying with the ketogenic grandma, right? Because I'm gluten-free. So I made these little chicken crusts, and I'll do a video on this, but little chicken crusts with a little bit of homemade sauce. And the 6-year-old doesn't like meat on her pizza, so she got just a little bit of cheese. And then the 12-year-old got pepperoni added to hers. The other weird thing I had to do was the chicken crust does call for egg. And since the 6-year-old can't have egg, I had to buy this. It's an egg replacement powder. It's probably not the greatest thing for someone like you or me trying to keep your carbs low, but for a little kid who can't have egg, you know, you just mix this powder with some water and it replaces an egg. I can't get the bag right now. It's a little bit higher carb than what an egg is, but for the 6-year-old, you know, I'm trying to adhere to what their parents are wanting. So I did that, right? I made little pizzas and they loved them. The other thing I did was I was cooking for my other loved one, and I made the southern fried spicy chicken that's breaded in pork rinds and air fried. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make some of the breading without the hot, like the chili powder and stuff in it. So I made some for the littles, and I made little chicken tenders, and they absolutely loved them. They were so good. So they had chicken tenders, homemade, totally carnivore, by the way, except for the little bit of spice I put in there. And then they had their little mini pizzas. So now I know I'll probably just make that every time they come over because they can have it, right? And it's healthy. And the other thing that I wonder about is the parents told me that the littlest one, they're buying these gluten-free muffins from the grocery store, but what else is in them? You know, are there seed oils in those? Do you make muffins without eggs? Like, I'm wondering all the other ingredients in there. So I'm like, you know what? You almost got to make your own foods, right? You got to make your own foods, especially if you have a little child who's suffering greatly. But that's my opinion. I'm not going to fault the parents because they work and, you know, have busy lives and everything. But it just really shocked me to see how much this little 6-year-old, my little grandbaby that I love so much, was suffering with this eczema all over her body. Just really made me sad. So what else is happening? I'm really excited for summer. The reason primarily I'm excited for summer is because I have a break from my choirs. I sing in 2 choirs through the week, one on Monday nights, 7 p.m., so I miss Dr. Barry every week, and then one on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And we get a break for the summer, so I'll have a little bit more time to just relax, recover, rest, heal from all the stress, just kind of take a break from that, you know. And the weather will be warm and nice. I was going to go for an outdoor walk today, but the problem was it started raining, and now it's just kind of wet and sloppy out, and I just don't feel like being out there. So All right, I only wanted to walk for 15 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video here. Okay, so now I am going for a 15-minute cycle. And I think what I was talking about was I'm getting really excited for the summer. And I'm not pushing this too hard, right? Because my knee still hurts a little bit. So I don't have the tension turned all the way up. I'm just doing a nice easy ride. And I did get a new seat and it feels so much better. It's not painful for me to sit on. So I think this is going to be the seat. Yes, I had to get a grandma seat, but I am a grandma, right? So I think that's acceptable. Whew. So now this is hard because I haven't done this for many, many years, but I'm just going to take a nice easy pace, right? I'm not going to try to like sprint up hills or anything with it, but just get movement in. So anyway, what I was talking about is I'm excited for summer break. That also means I can open up my calendar for more coaching clients. It's kind of hard right now because I work every day of the week and then I have choirs on Mondays and Wednesday nights. And that leaves me Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. And I like to take Sunday off from all work just because I'm usually cooking or doing chores or in my live stream, setting up my live stream. So Sunday usually kind of is a rest day for me. Not really, but I mean a rest from making myself available for coaching. Now, one thing I want to talk about is cortisol. You have to be careful when you work out. If you work out too hard, you're stressing your body in a different way. Not a bad way, but in a different way. And even exercise can raise your cortisol. So I want to be very careful when I get movement in to not overdo it. And I've never been a real big cardio person. I was for a while, but I'll be honest with you. It was before I started keto. I just wanted to get all my cardio in so that I could eat whatever I wanted. And honestly, it kind of ruined my hip. It didn't help. Let's just put it that way. It didn't help. So we don't want to overdo it. Now you can build yourself up and maybe push yourself a little bit more and a little bit more each time. But you don't want to overdo it and you don't want to stress your body, right? So one thing I've really been feeling this week and last week, the joint pain's getting a little bit better, but as I was saying, I have joint pain all in this arm, this wrist, this hand, my elbow, and my right knee is where I'm feeling joint pain. But I've also just had this exhaustion. It felt like it's not quite as bad, but it feels a little bit like when I was having my thyroid problem, right? I'm still thinking it's the stress from a week ago that I'm recovering from. So I'm just gonna, try to get sunlight, try to get exercise, try to get all the things that are good for you, to help you perk up your mood, your energy level. Because my food has been on point, right? It's all been carnivore food, 2 meals a day, typically, all clean. So I have had a little bit of the sauerkraut that I made, just a couple bites, a couple times a week. That's probably the only carb, but honestly, I was having the joint pain before I even added that back in. So it's not from that. But I am the type of person, I'm very sensitive. When one little thing in my world gets upset, my joints start hurting, right? I go from feeling like 30-year-old, which I'm 50, to feeling like an 80-year-old very quickly. Usually within a day, usually within 2 to 4 days from when the event happened, right? And that's exactly when this joint pain happened. So, I'm not freaking out about it. I'm just going to try to do the best that I can, listen to my body. If I feel like I can get a little movement in, like now, I'm going to get a little movement in. If I'm just struggling to get up and down the stairs and do my everyday tasks, I'm going to lay off of this extra movement, right? I think that's smart. I really do. I think it's really smart to play it by ear, keto rock stars. So what else can we talk about? Falling off the wagon. So Jonathan and I recently had an awesome conversation about falling off the wagon. And from personal experience for me, I haven't had many incidents of falling off the wagon. Well, I had a big one 20 years ago. I'll talk about that for a second. So I got married in 2007. And before that, I did Atkins, right? And I lost 30 pounds immediately doing Atkins. And I really didn't have, so right now I'm at the weight of my wedding right now. I weigh what I weighed when I got married. So I was probably maybe 190, 200 pounds. And I knew I needed to lose some weight. So that's when I started the whole Atkins thing. And I dropped the weight like that, right? Got to the weight I am now for my wedding, which is about 175 pounds. And then we went on this 2-week cruise in the Caribbean. It was awesome. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a break and I'm going to eat all the things on a cruise. Well, let me tell you, I did. And I gained that weight back, at least 25 pounds back in like 2 weeks. The pants that I took on the cruise didn't fit me when I got off. Like, what the heck, right? Well, when I got home, I thought, oh, I'll just get back to it. But what happened was I was happily married. I was in love and I learned to cook and I never got back on it. So that could be one incident where someone falls off the wagon, right? They get to their goal. Then they go on a vacation or they have some event that they want to enjoy the experience. Maybe you're going to Europe and you want to taste their food, or maybe you're, whatever. So that's one reason I think people fall off the wagon. Another reason is this mentality for rewards and cheat meals. Some people feel like once a week or maybe once a month or whatever, they can reward themselves with going out to eat and eating cheeseburger, French fries, or whatever the cheat meal is, ice cream, regular ice cream, not Kilt's ice cream. And they feel like they can just, cheat and then get back on it. But sometimes what happens is when they cheat, that affects your body for several days, sometimes a week. And then sometimes for some people, they can't get back on, right? So I think that's this mentality of, oh, I'm working so hard, I should get a reward. That sometimes causes a problem. Another incident that I personally went through, and it's probably really the last time I intentionally cheated. My husband and I were going through, it was during COVID, and my sister-in-law was dying of fatty liver disease from her uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. And she was in a nursing home in Ohio. And during this time, there was a travel ban. So you weren't supposed to, for any reason, travel into another state. Well, my husband and I were like, we're going. And hopefully, if we get pulled over, we have a, trooper that is compassionate. So we went and we got to the nursing home in Ohio, 4.5 hours away. And they told us, absolutely, you're not allowed to see her. Nobody's allowed to visit, because of COVID. And my husband, God love him. I love him. Being who he is like, I'm going to see your sister and you're not going to stop me. And he started to bust through the doors. Well, they called the cops. And then I'm like, Dennis, this isn't worth it getting arrested for. And the cops, you could tell on their face, they're like, this is BS, right? Just let him go see his sister. It's the last time he's ever going to see her again. And so we left and we went to the funeral home to plan her funeral. And then while we were at the funeral home, that nursing home called us and said, are you guys still in town? And we're like, yes. And I think they freaked out and they were like, you can come see her. So they put a table in between us and they let us sit 6 feet away. It was really, I'm glad they did because we got to say goodbye to her because we never saw her again. And then on the way home, he was so tired, he just wanted to get home, and he was speeding a little bit, and he got a speeding ticket. Well, actually, the cop pulled him over, never even wrote him a speeding ticket. But it was just a stressful day. And so we drove to and from Ohio, 8 hours in the car. We planned my sister-in-law's funeral, and we saw her for the last time in the nursing home, and he almost got arrested. It was awful. It was an awful day. And on that day, we got home, and he turns to me and says, "You want to go get a pizza and some breadsticks?" And I'm like, yes. And that was in 2021. I started the ketogenic way of eating in 2018. So we went to go to our favorite place. It's still one of our favorite places. I just don't eat the food there anymore. And we got a pizza and breadsticks, and I ate half of the pizza to myself and half of the breadsticks. And I'm telling you, it didn't happen the first couple days, but 3 or 4 days later, my joints started hurting. I couldn't walk. Eczema all over my hands. My hands were so bad with eczema that they started bleeding, right? It was terrible, just terrible. And I knew at that moment that I can't cheat. That I am one of these people that are so sensitive to things that if I have a cheat meal, I can't walk for like a week or two. Like my knees and my joints hurt so bad I can't walk. And my hip, everything I've had operated on hurts. What I have now is nothing compared to what I go through if I cheat. So for some people like me, maybe it's a blessing. Maybe it's a blessing I can't cheat, right? Because I hurt so bad. Now, I have accidentally ingested some gluten when, we're out. I think the last time I really remember was my 30th high school anniversary. We had tacos. So I'm like, I'm going to take my own wraps, and I'm just going to put the meat in my own egg life wraps. Well, the seasoning and the meat had gluten in it. I now know, because 3 or 4 days after my 30th high school reunion, couldn't walk again. Crazy, right? So I think those of us who stick with it at some point realize that it's not worth it. We get to a point where the pain and the suffering is not worth a cheat meal, right? It's just not worth a cheat meal. So for anyone new starting out, if you absolutely have to do it and you can have a cheat meal and then get right back on it, fine, good for you. But for some of us, it totally causes pain and suffering, and I am one of those people. And so anytime I get anything now, it's on accident, but I know. And then I usually can go back 3 or 4 days to what I ate, if I ate out, if I ate at somebody's house. And that's usually when I can pinpoint where and what it was I ate. And it's like clockwork now. I can just listen to my body and know, right? My gosh, we're almost 30 minutes into this little premiere. I hope you guys are talking amongst yourselves and having fun and enjoying. I've got some other things planned for this. After I get done doing my workout here. Oh, I'm getting a little out of breath. That's good, right? I'm trying to talk, cycle at the same time. So that's probably really good for my lungs, because on the CAC score, they did find some scar tissue in my lungs, but that's not surprising to me, because how many times have I had an infection in my lungs in my life? A lot. I've had bronchitis. I've had asthma since I was born. That's gotten better, but I do have a hard time taking deep breaths at times. I really like the cycle. The new seat makes it so comfortable. I got this on Amazon too, so this replaced the Peloton that I was house sitting for. And we gave that back to the owner when she got a new place. So I didn't want to get a Peloton because you got to subscribe to all this expensive stuff. I just wanted something I could get on here, manually adjust the tension, and ride, right? That's all I need to do, is just get on here and get movement and get steps. I wear my Fitbit on my ankle, so I'm getting steps for this. So that's exciting. Okay, about 20 more seconds and this video should be 30 minutes in.
I thought I would run out of things to say, but surprisingly, I think I can just talk and talk. So that's probably a good thing being a creator. All right, anyway, on to the next exercise. Here we go. Okay, guys, I'm here back on my yoga mat. I got this on Amazon, so I will put a link for my yoga mat in the description of the comments as well. I have these hard floors, and unfortunately, the last time I tried to do a plank, I didn't get the mat out, and I just tried to do it on the hard floor, and I made it like 5 seconds. So I cannot attempt to do a plank without the yoga mat, right? It's probably better if I do it up in the other room, but you can really see here better. There's more space than in that small bedroom. I'm gonna scoot this up a little bit. That way I have enough room for my feet over here. It's curled up. So I'm going to attempt to do a plank. I think it's been, the last one I did was a minute, and then I tried to do the 5-second one. So here in just a second, I'm going to get up the courage to try again. These are not easy. I know Donna Ray's really good at them, but Donna Ray's a marathon runner. I'm a flabby old grandma, right? So who's not been working out until recently. And you'll notice I'm not really doing anything that's, I mean, the push-ups were hard. I'm not going to lie. The push-ups and the planks are hard. The sit-ups weren't so bad. I'm going to do a couple other things in this video too, as far as functional exercise that can help you stay, you know, fit and young, especially if you're out of shape. So, all right, guys, should I do this? Post in the chat if I should do this plank or not. And post in the chat if you think, how long you think I'm going to make it today. Because I honestly don't know. I haven't done it in a couple weeks. So, and I have been having joint pain. Hopefully my knee doesn't have issues. But we're going to give this a shot. I'm going to get my timer set up here. Let me get out of this. It's not letting me get, there we go. I think it's because I have this camera going too. So let me get my stopwatch up. Last time I made it 1 minute and 6 seconds. Minute 6. So my goal is to beat 1 minute 6, although I haven't been practicing at this because I haven't been feeling well. Okay, it keeps going off. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to get into the position. My knee is hurting just a little bit, but we're going to try to do this, right? Are we ready? Hopefully I can keep my body straight, and hopefully my stuff's not hanging out here. But here we go. Are we ready? Let's do this. Hopefully I can beat 1 minute 6. Here we go, guys.
Tie your shoes, lock in. Cold water on your skin. 10 more reps, let's go. Feel that fire, wake up, flow. Count it down now, body on the line. Push it harder, one more set, one more climb. Pulse up, don't slow down. Pulse up on the ground. One more, take it now. Pulse up, feel it pound.
Okay, don't think about it. I didn't do so good, but I beat minute 6. I beat 1 minute 6 with 1 minute 9. Probably because I haven't been doing it. It's still hard. I felt my back started to hurt. So I think that's really what gave out on me was my back. And I felt like my toes were slipping, which was weird. But I was worried that I wasn't going to make it a minute. I made it 1 minute 9, which was, what did I make? Minute 6? 3 seconds longer than the last time. Oh my gosh. Oh, Oh, I need to do these every day or every other day to build it up. Goodness gracious. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do today. And then I will catch up with you guys tomorrow and we'll do some more exercises. Well, it's all going to be part of the same video. So, but I've already been working out for like 40 minutes now. So I'm going to rest tonight and then I'm going to start the camera again tomorrow and we'll do some more exercises. Hey guys, I'm back and we're going to start this morning off with 20 sit-ups, 2 rounds of 10 sit-ups each. So, and also I hope I'm inspiring you all to get out and move. You don't need to sit there and just watch me exercising. But if you're able to, follow along with me or go for a walk or get up and walk around the house. While you're listening to and watching, you know, my Thursday motivations, the whole thing is to get us all motivated to walk. So we're going to go ahead and do 20 sit-ups. I'm putting my feet under the couch here to help stabilize me. Oh, and I have a visitor. Hi, Linus. Are you a good boy? Say hi to everybody. This is my orange kitty, Linus. Hi, buddy. Come here. Say hi to everybody. You guys don't often get to see my animals because I'm usually filming in my office. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy, Linus? Good kitty. Yes, good kitty. So, all right, Linus. Mommy's got to... I don't think he wants me to do my sit-ups. Mommy's got to do some sit-ups. You want to do them with Mommy? Huh? Do you want to do sit-ups with Mommy? Huh? Are you going to let Mommy do her sit-ups? Yes. Yes. All right, let's see. All right, here we go, Keto Rock Stars. Ready? I am not locking my fingers behind my head, just so you know. Someone said not to do that. I'm just placing them behind my head. And here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Lace up, tight, tight, bottle on the bench. Time blinks red, I'ma meet it in the fence. Towel on my neck, grip chalk on my hands. One more round, yeah, I know I can. Count it up, 3, 2, 1, feel that burn, keep it fun. Heart goes fast, I don't quit. Say my name, I'm built for this. Last rap club, let's go, let's go. Last rap club, watch me go, watch me go.
Okay, those seemed harder than they did the last time I did them. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make 10 more, but we're going to try. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a rest here. And again, I love this mat. I would not be able to do this without this yoga mat. The floor would just be too hard. So I posted a link to the mat in the comments. Check that out. Whew, those were harder than I thought. But again, core strengthening exercises are important. The last time I did these, they were very easy. This time they seemed a little harder. I'm not sure what I did differently. Again, I have my feet under the couch to kind of hold them down so that I can do the sit-ups. All right, are we ready? I'm going to try to do 10 more. I don't know, that was kind of difficult.
Push a little harder, stay in the zone. Last rap club, I'm not done, I'm not done. Mirror on the wall, sweat on my face. New speed, new stride, I'm here to take my place. Legs like steel, core locked in when the count gets loud. I lean in, count it up, 3, 2, 1, feel that burn, keep it fun. Hands up high, eyes on me, say my name, I'm breaking free.
It's really getting hard.
Let's go, let's go. Last rap club, watch me go, watch me go.
I don't know if it's because it's morning. I just don't have like my morning energy yet or what, but that seemed More difficult than the last time. Whew, word. But every little bit helps, right? Every little bit that we do helps. All right. Okay, guys, we're going to move to the next exercise. Okay, guys, I'm going to be attempting to do push-ups again. Last time I made 10. I'm going to try to do over 10 this time, but I don't want to push it because I am having pain in my arm and wrist. So I will only go until my body tells me to stop. I cannot do a regular push-up on the floor. So I am doing inclined push-ups on the steps. These are great. The higher the incline, the easier the push-up, the lower the incline. So right now I'm doing step 4, which is a little bit of a higher incline, but I did notice last time it was difficult for me. So let's get to it. Hopefully I can do at least maybe 15 push-ups. I'm going to do 10, rest, then try to do more. So here we go. And again, I have another kitty here trying to say hi. This is Zeus. Say hi to the camera, Zeus. Hi. All right. You gonna help mommy? Huh? Nope. Okay, here we go, guys. Ready?
Push a little harder, stay in the zone. Last breath, I'm not
2,
done, I'm not done.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Breathe in, breathe out, then hit it again. Small win.
All right. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to try to do 10 more. I think I can do it. That didn't seem to be as hard as it was the last time. Whew. It's also, for me, early, first thing in the morning. I'm just trying to get these done. Again, this is previously recorded, so this was not Thursday morning. This is actually Saturday morning. But I will not be able to have my live, so we're doing a premiere where we can all chat and have fun. Okay, I'm ready to get back to it. Let me see if I can do 10 more. That's the goal. 10 more is the goal. At least 5, but maybe 10. Here we go.
Stack up till the doubt caves in. One more mile, one
1,
more beat. I came
2,
this far, now watch me
3,
complete.
4,
Let's go, let's go. Watch me glow, watch me glow.
6,
Push a little
7,
harder, stay in the zone. I'm not done, I'm not done.
9, 10. Those last 10 were harder. I can feel it, and I'm feeling it like right in here. But you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere. Those are hard. So if you can't do a push-up like me, you can use a counter, anything that's on an incline, a wall. The stairs are a little better because they're harder because they're lower angle. So if you have stairs, you can do that. But yeah, I'm feeling it, so I know it's doing something, and you got to start somewhere. Eventually, I will be able to do push-ups on the floor again. I'm confident if I keep at this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, everybody, so the next thing we are going to be doing is, I don't know what they call these. They're just sit stands. I think I learned how to do these when I was in physical therapy for my left hip. My left hip is now very weak because I'm just getting back into movement, so I want to strengthen this left hip. And really this exercise in particular is a great functional medicine exercise because as we get older, it's harder for us to get up and out of a chair, right? So this is something you can do at home. You don't have to have a fancy gym membership for. And this is something my physical therapist had me do immediately after surgery. They wanted to make sure that I could get up and out of chairs on my own. And again, without grabbing onto anything. So I have this little chair here that's just a fold-up chair. And I'm going to try to do at least 2 sets of 10. So all we're going to do is we're going to just put our arms out and then sit until we touch the chair. So ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3,
Tie your shoes,
4,
cold water
5,
on your skin. 10 more reps,
6,
let's go. Feel
7,
that fire, wake up, flow. Count
8,
it down now, body on the line.
9,
Push it harder, one more set.
10. Okay, I'm going to take a break. Woo, that is a good workout. Let me tell you, I'm feeling it now. My knee, I do feel that a little bit in my knee because I'm bending the knee that has been hurt, but I think I can do 10 more. Again, this is such a great functional exercise that anyone can do in their home. Whatever chair you usually sit in, you can use that chair. This one's a little lower, so it's a little bit more challenging for me because this is just a folding chair. Whew, sorry, I'm a little out of breath from that. But we're going to do 10 more. And again, I hope you guys are all enjoying this. Just a little motivation, just some examples of some things you can do at home without a gym membership. Exercise, you just need a chair. Push-ups you can do, sit-ups you can do. Now, some people can't do sit-ups if you have severe back pain, which honestly, in the past, I had severe back and sciatic pain, but that has all been cured with keto and carnivore, right? So I am able to do the sit-ups now. But there would have been a time where I wouldn't have been able to do them because A, I was overweight, and B, I was seeing a spine specialist for severe back pain. So, but this is hope for anyone who has that you can overcome these things, right? Okay, let's get to it, guys. I'm going to do 10 more. Here we go. Ready?
More climb.
1,
Pulse up,
2,
don't slow down.
3,
Pulse up on the
4,
ground. One more,
5,
take it now. Pulse
6,
up, feel it
7,
pound.
8, 9,
Feel it
10. Yay, we did it. On to the next thing. Hey guys, this is the last exercise that I'm going to do. Some of you have been following my story, have noticed that I posted a video recently about getting my CAC score results back and that they found some scar tissue in the bottom of my lungs, which I have noticed. I am a singer. I have noticed I've been having a hard time breathing in deeply. It could just be that the lower part of my lungs aren't inflating properly. So I did buy one of these little devices that you can use to exercise your lungs and practice in taking deep breaths. So they say do it for 10 minutes. I'm only going to do it for 5 minutes. But this is the last exercise I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to start doing this daily to increase my airflow, get more lung capacity, that sort of thing. I'm also going to be doing some other breathing exercise. For those of you who haven't tuned in to DC Rebuilding, please check out his channel. I've already looked at some of his breathing exercises. They're really intense, so I'm not quite there yet, but I'm going to start using this every day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my timer on my Apple Watch, and I'm going to do this for approximately 5 minutes. So here we go. And the goal is to get all 3 balls up to the top. Didn't quite make that one. Let me see. We're only at a minute. Didn't make it. It's not as easy as it looks. Oh my goodness. Start to get a little lightheaded. I'm not even at 2 minutes yet. Oh, didn't make that one. Oh my goodness. I might not make it to 5 minutes. I'm starting to get a little lightheaded. This is a workout, guys. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay guys, I made it about 4 minutes on the stopwatch, but 5 minutes in the actual video. Starting to get a little lightheaded because breathing in that heavily it's expanding the bottom, it's training the bottom of my lungs to expand. So I don't think I only paid like 15 or 20 bucks for this. You can obviously do other just breathing exercise, box breathing, which is 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4 seconds, and then you basically make a shape of a box, and it helps you kind of stay in rhythm while you're doing all this. So that's another exercise I like to do, but I bought this to try to help force me to get a visualization of breathing in to the bottom of my lungs. So these are some of the exercises. I have more that I'm going to incorporate, so stay tuned. I will see you Sunday at 7 p.m. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And that's all for today, folks. See you in the next video, Keto Rockstars. Have a great day, everybody.